The Rockefeller Syndicate operates under the control of the world financial structure, which means that on any given day, all of its assets could be rendered close to worthless by adroit financial manipulation, noted Mullins, who observed that patriarch John D. Rockefeller was able to gain almost total control over U.S. oil with financing from the National City Bank of Cleveland, named in congressional reports as a branch of the Rothschild banking empire. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I'd like to make some comments on S-22 as expanded by the Senate. This is the Omnibus bill on so-called wilderness preservation. Has over 170 bills folded into it. And as I noted in my talks with Jack Luck 4, this bill on its surface in a normal society where one could assume that legislation as passed is for the betterment of the people because the people in Washington D.C. are working for the people, you might assume that this is a good piece of legislation and that, hey, we're saving land and we're preserving wild resources. But unfortunately we don't live in a society where that is the case. We live in a society where those in Congress and those in power are there for their own aggrandizement and for the pursuit of their own agenda, and it has nothing to do with the people. So the problem with this bill, this single thing that would cause me to be opposed to it, if there was nothing else wrong with it, is the idea of asset forfeiture, which I've commented on earlier, which I think is fucked up. Because in this instance, if you're caught removing paleontological or archaeological things from public land that is put aside according to this bill, you can have asset forfeiture done against you in order to for the government to take away from you any of the equipment, vehicles, or whatever that is used in the procurement of that. And then they can use those assets any way they see fit. So this is just another example of the government finding a way in which to take the assets off of people. And it is clearly worded in the bill itself that it doesn't matter whether you're guilty or innocent. They can take this away from you, and then it's up to you to take the government to court. And you and I both know that in civil asset forfeiture, there is virtually no instances where the people are able to overcome the vast resources of the government put to the task of bringing someone to, quote-unquote, justice in this instance. So, fuck this bill. Okay, it's supposed to be good for hunters and fishermen because it's going to set aside a lot of land for preservation. But in the end, what it does effectively is it blocks off tremendous areas of land for energy exploitation and exploration. And this flies in the face of something that the Obama administration had indicated that it wanted to do. And as I've said before, and I've said 100 times, and I'll say it 100 times again, until we have an effective fucking energy solution that is in place, we have no choice but to rely upon oil, gas, and fossil fuels. There is no other fucking option. Until we have something in place which is ready to take over the entire energy production needs of this country. That is not to say, as I've said before, that we should not be fucking investing in new types of energy production. We should be, and we should be putting a lot of money into that. But at the same time, we need to be exploiting every bit of fucking energy that we have in this fucking country. And S-22 should be opposed for that reason, for the civil asset forfeiture reason. Beware, because in my looking into this, and in Jack Luck 4's looking into this, there seems to be some discrepancy in the House as to what the bill number is and when this is going to come to vote. Now, the House has adjourned, and they're not going to come in until March 25th. Now, this bill stands as a special item in a procedure to suspend the rules and force a vote. So it may be that it's going to come in and it's going to be, you know, put before the House without any type of debate or whatever. Now, this is another slap in the face to the people from the Obama administration, who had promised transparency and fucking time to read the legislation. So, where is his fucking leadership? I'll tell you where his fucking leadership is. It's on Jay fucking Leno making fun of Special Olympics people. Yes, I know he apologized, but that's just another example. That's two examples right there. One of how he is expressing no fucking leadership in anything that's going on in Washington, D.C. by being out and about on his little Hope tour. And two, that he has no fucking idea what he's saying when he doesn't have a teleprompter to tell him to do so. So keep your eye on S22, keep your eye on the House when it reconvenes on March 25th. Contact your congressman and tell them that there are some dangerous provisions within S22 and that this needs to be looked at and carefully considered prior to its adoption. As I said, I'm not for, or I'm not against, you know, preserving natural resources. Far from it. I think it's a great idea. But at the same time, it needs to be balanced against all of the other factors that are negative in this particular bit of legislation. So, I urge you all to contact your congressman and tell them that some of the provisions of S22 need to be changed before they consider passage of it, or to reject it until the bill is perfected. Thank you. Good day.